Imagine walking through a quiet field on a cold February afternoon. When you stumble across an old cardboard box, you think it's just trash, but inside lies the body of a small boy, bruised, battered, and alone. No name, no family, no one was searching for him. For more than 60 years, this haunting mystery, the boy in the box, tormented investigators and horrified America. This is the story of America's unknown child. On February 25, 1957, in a desolate area of Fox Chase, Philadelphia, a man checked his muskrat traps and spotted a discarded box. Curious, he pried it open, only to recoil in shock. Inside was the naked body of a young boy, wrapped in a cheap blanket. He looked about 4 to 6 years old. His hair was crudely cut, as if it had been hacked off in a rush. His tiny frame showed signs of malnourishment, and across his body were bruises and scars, silent testimony to a life of suffering. Police arrived quickly, but one thing stood out immediately. There were no signs of identity. No toys, no clothes, no documents. Nothing to tell the world who this little boy was. The cardboard box itself gave investigators their first clue. It once held a baby bassinet sold at a local JCPenney. Detectives tracked down every buyer of that bassinet, but none led to answers. The blanket wrapped around the boy was traced to a local manufacturer, but again it was a dead end. Posters of the child's face were printed and plastered everywhere, in gas stations, police stations, even on utility bills across Philadelphia. Millions saw his face, yet no one came forward to claim him. The case quickly spiraled into one of the most frustrating mysteries in American crime history. One theory suggested the boy belonged to a foster home nearby. Investigators pursued this angle, but nothing conclusive linked him there. Another haunting lead came years later, when a woman known only as Martha claimed her abusive mother had purchased the boy and killed him in a fit of rage. Her story seemed convincing until inconsistencies unraveled it, and investigators dismissed her testimony as unreliable. Every suspect, every promising lead, collapsed into dust. The boy remained nameless, voiceless, lost. As the years passed, the case gripped the public. Journalists dubbed him the boy in the box, but the community gave him another name, America's unknown child. People visited his gravesite, leaving flowers, toys, and prayers. Retired detectives admitted it was the one case that haunted them every night. How could a child be so brutally discarded? And no one steps forward. For decades, technology failed to provide answers. But in 2019, forensic genealogy, the same tool that caught the Golden State Killer, was applied to the case. DNA from the boy's remains was carefully extracted and cross-referenced with genealogy databases. And then, in December 2022, 65 years after his discovery, the world finally learned his name. The boy in the box was identified as Joseph Augustus Zarelli. He was just 4 years old. Born in 1953, Joseph had lived in West Philadelphia. Records showed his parents, but investigators have never fully revealed the circumstances of his short life. His identity was no longer a mystery, but the crime itself remains unsolved. Who killed him? Why? Those questions still hang in the cold air of Philadelphia. Joseph's story is more than just another unsolved case. It's a reminder of how society sometimes fails its most vulnerable. For 65 years, strangers became his family, detectives, journalists, and ordinary citizens who refused to let his memory fade. When Philadelphia police announced his identification, people around the world wept. Finally, the boy who had been voiceless, forgotten in a box, had his name returned to him. But here's the chilling truth. Even today, there are countless Josephs out there. Children lost, unnamed, their stories buried in silence. And so, the mystery of the boy in the box forces us to ask, how many more voices are waiting to be heard? This is the algorithm of crime, where we uncover the patterns, the mysteries, and the lessons hidden in the darkest corners of humanity.